Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel Automate with Piyush. So in the previous video we worked on how to create a custom activity that can authenticate the user for using the orchestrator APIs. So that activity would give us an bearer access token which we can use to call all these other APIs provided by UiPath. So in this video, we are going to utilize that activity and create one more activity that can call this folders get API or data folders. So the work of this API is to give me the name, the details, the folder ID of all the folders that are available under my tenant name. So without wasting time, let's jump on to the coding part. So I will jump to the Visual Studio Code. Now over here, this is the old class that we had created, authenticate. Now we want another activity. Let's call it public class get folders, and as usual we will inherit the code activity class. And now what we need is we need our arguments. So let's just copy one of the arguments from the top and paste it right over here. So things that we would need are, we would need our access token first of all. So enter your access token, then let's rename it to access token only. Then what else we need? We need the user's orchestrator URL. So display name would be orchestrator URL, and I will just rename this user key to same. That is also done. Next, what we need is we need to send an output response back to the user. So let's just call it output. Display name is API response, and here description would be JSON response provided by the API, and again variable name, let's call it API response. Now we need to create an execute method that is calling this get folders. What is the functioning of this get folders class? So for that we will get protected override void execute method and remove this throw as usual. And now first of all let's fetch the details that the user has given to the activity. So first token, starting with that string token equals to access token dot get and context. Then again I will take the orchestrator URL, orchestrator URL equals to orchestrator URL dot get and context. Hope everyone is following with me. Now next what we would need, we will need to create our API URL. So let's create that. I will just add and comment API, and here is the string API URL equals to first of all our orchestrator URL plus, let's copy that from over here. So for get folders, this is the URL that we need to add after the orchestrator URL. So let's just put it over here. 1 second, I guess it was not copied. Okay, that is our API URL. Now we need to work on the web request. So create request. For that, we will create a web request object. And set the method type to get. Now let's convert it into HTTP web request. So this is the variable that I am creating, HTTP request of type HTTP web request object. So basically I have just converted the web request to HTTP web request, and over here I will just say HTTP request dot content type is application JSON, and similarly HTTP request dot method. Oh, method is not required, we need to add the header. This would be accept header, and in header we can pass the authorization header, which is equals to bearer, there is the access token type, and now the token over here we can just pass it as a variable. Then next, okay, here it is showing some error, that is headers. Now HTTP web response, let's call it response object equals to null, and now I can call it response object HTTP web response dot get response. Final task string, I am just creating a variable result and setting it to null, so that every time this activity is called, no cache data or this variable is always null in the initially before we are actually putting some data through the API. So now let's get the required data from it using string response object get response string, then a string reader, let's call it SR string reader, and a string variable. Finally, result equal to SR dot read to end, and close the string. Okay, we are done. Now we just need to assign the output. So that would be our out argument. Out argument is, here we can see, okay, this one is an our out argument API response. So here I will just say API response dot set the context with result, and since we can see no issues found is given here, that means there is no syntax error in our code, and now we are good to build it. I will just copy this. Now the steps are usual. Go back to Nuggage, create a new package, add a library folder, existing file, or it would have been better if we just reuse the previous one. So let me try that. Open. So what we give the name? API orchestrator. Look, yes, you was it this one, or was it? Yeah, orchestrator API. That's what we used. So I will just delete this old DLL and add a new one. Let's give it name 1.4.2 and save as. Now moving to UI path. Let's update it and save. Now to test this activity, we will need our access token, which we can get through our authenticate activity, and but that would be a JSON response as we saw in the previous video. So we also need to deserialize the JSON and fetch only the access token. Thus for that we will need uipath.web.activities. So I will just download them as well. uipath.web. Okay, it should come in all packages. Wow, it is not showing. uipath dot web. Where are the web API activities? To do this, yeah, this is the one. Now let's see. So first of all, we have the authenticate activity over here. Then this is the authenticate response that is coming. So I will use a deserialize object activity and deserialize this JSON. So there here it will come our authenticate response, and let's create a variable called JObject. Then if we go to the activities here, orchestrator API, we have got a get folders activity. Drag this. So it needs the access token. So I don't remember the key, so I will check that. First of all, I can pass the orchestrator URL. So that is this one. Okay, and then the API response. So folders details. Now let me just check what is the access token. I will put a breakpoint over here and debug it. For okay, maybe I have changed the user key. Let me check that. Now over here we need to go to mode and then to the admin. In the I will go to Piyush tenant services, and in the orchestrator let's check the API access again. Okay, So here, as you can see, the user key is different. I must have revoked the previous access, which I will probably do after this video as well. Okay, so user key, I will add the new one. Client ID seems to be the same, ending with N5 and 8D. Cool. And here the orchestrator URL. So we will just debug it again. So this time it worked. Now let's see. So this is the access underscore token that we need. So let's stop it. And over here I can pass J object access underscore token dot toString, and for folder details, let's again just use a message box and print it out. So what it should give the name of the folders available in my orchestrator and their details. So wow, it gave me something. Let me check. These references this. What is it giving me? This is not the proper response. Okay, let's check the code again. What we have done. So over here we have got result, we have got the authorization, string, response object, that response string, this is also sounds correct. Oh, I guess this is the issue. Here it should have been proper. No space in between. Now let's try again. I have rebuilt the solution. Copy. Add existing file. Paste. Version goes one more up. Then save as. Now we will just run this. Bravo. So this worked, and over here we can see that it has given me two values. The display name of the first folder is default. It has given me provision type to be manual, inherit from the parent. It is active. Process ID, it has certain keys. So there is a lot of details around about this default folder. Similarly, I can see that over here there is a modern folder. It has a folder name, details, and it has some ID as well assigned to it that might be the folder ID that we use for other APIs. So that was a brilliant success, guys. Hope you liked this video and understood how we can create our own custom activities, call the APIs that are provided by UiPath on the Swagger UI. You can use these activities to work and create more activities, like what I could suggest over here in the OData processes. Here you can create this API same as this one and get the list of all the details about your processes, because like over here we can see it gives a list of packages in a 10 field and 4 folder packages.view. Okay, so maybe in the next video we can try and create this activity, create an activity with to get all the processes. Okay guys, please do like, share and subscribe to my channel, and if you have any doubt, you query, you want a video down, do reach out to me on my LinkedIn or on my email. I'm always available for you. Okay guys, see you next time.